Title: A Rental Boyfriend with Return Included. Everything began when my mother decided it was time for me to get married. Not in a subtle way, like, "What about a boyfriend?" but rather with threats. Evenings like, "If you come to your cousin's wedding alone, I'll seat you at the children's table." Again. My cousin Chloe was getting married in 2 weeks. It was going to be a huge wedding, and the whole family was already They murmured that I was the modern spinster who collected plants and romantic disappointments. So I did what any desperate woman would do. I hired a fake boyfriend. Yes, like in the movies. Solo that much more expensive. I presented myself at the agency with my soul in my feet and a folder full of specifications. "I want him to be handsome, but not more handsome than me," I said. "Funny, but not that he'll obey the show. And that he knows how to eat without splashing." And that's how I met him, Ethan. Tall, charming smile, green eyes with flashes of, "You'll probably break my heart, but it's worth it." He accepted the job. He acted professionally, although I would swear he was amused by my suffering. "So I'll be your boyfriend for 3 days?" he said, crossing his arms. "Is there a uniform or just a lovesick face?" "Just a face of, I am a complete mistake of life." We spent the previous days rehearsing. We learned our false stories, how we met in a bookstore, cliché but romantic, our first kiss in a park with rain, classic, and even how he asked me to be his girlfriend with a cupcake. And the big day arrived. We appeared at the wedding as if we were taken from a perfume commercial. Ethan did it PST. Perfecto. He greeted everyone, remembered impossible names, danced with my Aunt Gladys twice, and even offered to take photos. The worst part was that I was liking it. Not only him, but us. The looks, the lies began to feel real. The laughter wasn't rehearsed. And when he grabbed my hand for the character, I felt a silly warmth in my chest. The last day, while everyone slept the rear, he approached me in the hotel garden, taking advantage of someone else's love. "Do you know," he said, "if you ever need a real boyfriend, I don't charge the second time." I was speechless. "Are you joking?" I asked, entering nervous and hopeful. "Maybe, maybe not." And then he did it. He kissed me. Not as part of the deal, not as part of the script. It was a clumsy, sweet, unexpected kiss. Real. So, yes, I hired my boyfriend. But the worst part is that I don't plan to return him. Do you want me to add a second part, or should we develop this story for video? Title: A Boyfriend for Rent and a Non-Refundable Kiss, Part 2. After the kiss, I looked at him as if he had come down from a romantic comedy straight into my life. And the worst part, he was still charming, even with his messy hair and a leaf stuck to his jacket. So this isn't acting anymore?" I asked him. He smiled and raised an eyebrow. "Well, if it is acting, I'm winning an Oscar." I laughed, nervously, happily, confusedly. How is one supposed to live? Do you feel real feelings for someone you hired by the hour? After the wedding, we returned to the city in silence, each with their own thoughts, I with mine. And now what? A week later, he wrote to me. "Follow-up appointment? I promise not to charge you. Well, maybe just a pizza." I accepted, although I tried to convince myself it was out of courtesy. Lisa's. I was already practicing which blouse he pretended to be accidentally adorable. We went to a small Italian restaurant full of candles, laughter, and the smell of basil. There were no nerves. We talked as if we had known each other all our lives. He told me, but before being a rental boyfriend, his term, not the agency's, he had been a theater actor, and that he still dreamed of performing on Broadway. "And you?" he asked while cutting a lasagna. "If I were dissecting a poem, what would you do if no one judged you?" "I would go live in a cabin with my plants, and maybe I would write a children's storybook, or open a tea shop, or the 3 things, I don't know. I'm indecisive." He laughed. He looked at me as if what he had just said was brilliant. We left the restaurant and walked along the sidewalk under warm lights, like in a postcard. Mantica that someone would send from Paris, although we were 2 blocks from the metro. He stopped. "I'm going to tell you something, but promise you won't laugh. Promise." I think I fell a little in that wedding. Silence. And then I said the most honest thing I've said in years. "Me too, although I have no idea what to do with that." He approached. He took my hand, and with a smile that still melts me, said, "We could improvise?" And so began what I never planned. What wasn't in the contract, what we didn't rehearse. A love that began as a performance, but ended up being my favorite scene. Do you want us to write a third part where they are already a couple and face their first fight? Or would you prefer that I take them to a more passionate and dramatic moment? Title: A Rental Boyfriend and a Permanent Contract. Part 3. Deciding to be a couple with someone you met pretending to be a couple is not as easy as it sounds. At first, everything was perfect. Ethan brought me coffee without asking. If he asked me, I would cook him disastrous but loving breakfasts, and our dates were like mini romantic movies. Fun, sweet, unpredictable. But then Tuesday arrived. The fateful ICO Tuesdays. We were in my apartment watching a series when my cell phone rang. It was a message from my mother. "Daughter, I found Ethan on the agency's website. I thought he no longer worked a... todo bien?" I swallowed. I looked at Ethan. He, calm, chewed popcorn as if nothing. "Do you still work as a rent-a-boyfriend?" I asked him. He was silent. "Ethan? Yes," he said. "Finally. But I haven't taken on any more jobs since we've been together. I swear, I was going to quit, it's just, I haven't yet." And then I exploded. "Are you still part of a dating agency by EN Cargo? Did you think you wouldn't tell me?" "I don't see it that way," he tried to justify himself. "It's just a page. I'm with you. But how do I know you're not like that with everyone? How do I know that ours is real?" He looked at me in that face of, "It hurts, but I understand. Because if this isn't real, then I'm the best actor on the planet, and believe me, I'm not." I threw it away that night. Not with shouting or soap opera drama, but with the silent sadness that hurts more than any fight. 3 days passed, long ones, full of silence, plants, ice cream, and sad songs that I swore I would never listen to again, until I received a package. Tea. It was an envelope with a handwritten letter, with crooked handwriting, from Ethan. I resigned. From the agency, the character, the rehearsed scripts. Because with you I don't want to act anymore. I want to improvise the rest of my life, but only if you are on stage. And below, a smaller note. P.S. Open the door. I opened it, and there he was, with flowers and a small box. "This is not a marriage proposal," he said clumsily. "It's a proposal to start again, but this time, without lies, without a contract, just you and me. What do you say?" I hugged him. I cried. And between tears and laughter I told him, "I accept." I didn't know I would last a week, a year, or forever, but at that moment I knew I wanted to find out with him. And yes, sometimes love is rented by mistake and stays forever by decision. End.